What's going on YouTube? It's Jason with JJ Drones, and today we are going to start a new feature on this channel, and it is going to be called Ask Jason. And what we're going to be doing with this is we're going to be taking viewer questions, and we have our first viewer questions from Gary from Jailbait and Tackle Outdoors. Now later on in the video I'm going to tell you how you can send me your viewer videos, but first let's get into this video. Now we have the question here from Gary from Jailbait and Tackle Outdoors. Go ahead, Gary.
One question I have for you on YouTube is, I see a lot of really cool like YouTube channels that there's a variety of ways to do like an intro. I don't, you know, it comes down to terminology. Intro video, like preliminary, like thing. Like somebody might have a 15-second like road to 500 or somebody like that, or like Jared Crocker does a really good job, you know, showing, you know, what they're doing on the you know, on their property out there, you know. So like how can I do that? You know, can you advise like a simple man like me how to do something like that in the future? I know that's probably like a little more upscale than I'm ready for, but let's get the hard questions out of the way, and hopefully, you know, the future questions are going to be easy.
Now that's a really good question, Gary, and I'm more than happy to help you with it. And instead of just telling you how to do it, I figured the best way to do this would be to actually show you. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I would create an intro video using Adobe Premiere Pro. So we're here in Premiere Pro, and the first thing that we need to do is we need to decide how we're going to be doing this video. Is it going to be something that we're going to be featuring, what we're going to be showing the audience, some key points from the video that's coming out, or is this going to be a video that we're going to be just doing like a brand type video where we just kind of show what our channel is all about? And what I like to do is I like to feature little clips from the video to kind of get an idea of what you're going to be seeing throughout. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go and I'm going to come down here, and it says import media to start. And you can either go up here and hit file, import, but that's not the way that I like to do it. I like to just come down here, double click, and it does the same thing. Now I've already created a folder with some videos and some other parts here. So what we're going to do is we're going to select all of these, and we're going to hit open. And now that I've done that, it's put all of those files right down in here. Now these are all videos, and you can kind of scroll and you can kind of see what is available to you there. And then you've got the music here, and then you've got a little logo here. Now the first thing that you want to do is you want to play with the music, because the music is going to be what you're going to be putting all of your clips to. So we're going to double click that, and it puts it up here so that you can actually edit down the music. Now when I play, or when I use this music here for my intros, it usually starts right about here. Now my wheels in motion and my windows open. Okay, so we're going to start there. So we're going to drag this to the beginning, and we're going to hit this parentheses, and then we're going to play this probably to about right here, and then we'll see if that's about where we want it. So we hit the other parentheses. Now right here, you can just drag down this audio clip down here, and you can see now it's down there at the bottom. First thing that we're going to do is we're going to drop the volume on this because it's extremely loud. So we're going to drop this down to right about 10.4. Not 10.7, 10.4. The 0.3 is not going to make a big difference, but let's hear what we have. Now my wheels in motion and my window Okay, that's where I want it to stop. So I can come down here and I can drag this over to where this little bar is. And now we can hear where it stops. Here I go! Okay, now we can actually zoom in. So I'm going to click on this box down here and hit the plus button, and that will zoom in. And I want to adjust that just a little bit. And now let's hear how that sounds. Okay, that's exactly where I want it. Now I'm going to take, because we don't want it to end there, we want it to sound like the song is ending. So we're going to come back up here, and we're going to hit play. And it's really close. Okay, so we're going to hit the parentheses again. Then we're going to drag this back down. And then we're going to see what this transition sounds like. Okay, so now this is too loud again. So we're going to drop the music volume down. Now, whatever the other one is, you want this one to be. So this is negative 10.7. Just going to type that in there. Hit enter. Now these are going to match. Let's listen to this again. Here I go! Okay, so now that's perfect. I got it on the first try. Not all the time are you going to do that, but I've been doing this for a while, so don't feel bad if you have to go back and edit it a little bit more. But we're going to bring this back because we don't want that to go on for 24 seconds. 20 seconds is still long, but at least you can clip out, 5 clips at 4 seconds a piece, or 4 clips at 5 seconds a piece, whatever you want to do. At least we know what we're doing with the music. And we're going to want to have our last clip start right here at this cut, because you try and get the clips to go with the music. And you'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. But we have our music, and then when it gets to the end here, we want this to actually fade out. And there's transitions built into Premiere Pro. And if you right-click on the music, it says apply default transition, and that default transition is set to make this fade out. You can actually have it fade in, and I don't do that with the music in this one. So we're going to just hit that, and so when the music ends, it's going to fade out. Listen. So now it's fading out. That's exactly how we want it. So we've got the music already set up. Now, we want to add our clips. And what you're going to do is you're going to take your clips and you're going to try and find some clips of the video that are going to be something that are going to get people to watch. You don't want to give them everything, but you want to give them something. Now, I'm going to start off here. I kind of like this, but I don't really think that I want that at the beginning. But I've got 20 seconds to play with, so I'm going to use like a 4-second clip here. Now you can see over here on the right-hand side, it'll actually show you how long your segment is that you made with the parentheses. So that's 7 seconds. We want to drop that down to about 4. So we're going to do that right there. Okay. Now, we dragged the audio down with this one before. We're going to drag the video down with this one here. See where it says drag video only? So I'm dragging this down. I'm going to put this on the timeline right here for now because I really like that clip. Now, I'm going to find another clip. I want something that is kind of interesting to draw their attention right from the bat. So I'm going to, that looks interesting. So I'm going to grab that. Again, this is too long. That's around 4 seconds. So I'm going to drop, drag and drop, drag and drop. This is all this is. Now I want to have this do a transition to come into the video. I don't want it just to be right there in your face. So again, I'm going to right click on the video. I'm going to apply the default transition, which is a fade in. And you see how that just fades in like that? That's what I'm looking for. So now I'm going to play this and see how it sounds going with the clips that I have.
Now my wheels in motion and my windows open with the wind blowing in my hair. I'm driving down.
Okay, so at that point right there is where I want the next clip to land. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to drag this over. Now that's going to be a little bit longer than I want it to be, but that's okay. We can play with that a little bit. Now I'm going to go here to this one, and I really like that. I really like this portion here where the drone drops its camera. So I'm going to go and do parentheses here. Do parentheses here. Now that's probably going to be too long, so we're going to do this. And then we're going to shorten it up quite a bit. And then we're going to put this here. All we're doing is dragging and dropping, guys. That's all we're doing.
I'm driving down the highway, gonna do this my way. I can feel it in the...
Okay. Now, I'm going to put 2 more clips in here so that I've got one to fill here and then one at the very end. So let's go back to this drone video here. Now, we did get quite a bit of the river. So I don't think we need to do any more of the river. But we do have this here where we're going up the cliff. See how that you've got that big reveal there? We're going to take some of this. That's a 5-second clip, so that's going to be too long. So we're going to shorten this up. Then I'm going to put that on that cut, and then I'm going to drag it back there. So we've got that. And then I just want that last piece. And for that last piece, I want to highlight the truck. So I put a parentheses there. Drag it, parentheses. Drag down. Again, this is too long, so I'm going to shorten it up. And then I'm going to drag it so it matches up with here. Now this is not matching up, so I'm going to zoom in. This is just off, just a hair. Okay, so now it should be perfectly matched, and then we want to have this fade out at the end. So now, let's go back to the beginning. Let's zoom out. Bring this marker all the way back to the beginning, and then let's play it and see what it looks like.
Now my wheels in motion and my windows open with the wind blowing in my hair. I'm driving down the highway, gonna do this my way. I can feel it in the air. Here I go.
So what I did there was I just did a whole bunch of highlights of the drone video that I'm going to be doing, right? And that's what we want to do. We want to just highlight what we're going to be showing without actually giving the entire video. Now, what I also do is I put my logo in the beginning of the video or of the intro, just so that people know. Who are we watching? Well, we're watching JJ Drones. So I'm going to take my logo, I'm going to put it on the timeline. And wow, is that big, right? I mean, that's ridiculous. We can't see anything. Well, we're going to fix that. And we're going to shorten it up so it goes with this clip here. And we're going to bring this marker to the beginning of the timeline. And then we're going to click on this. And then we're going to go up here to Effect Controls. Okay. Now, with the Effect Controls, we can actually make this whatever size we want it to be. And we can also change where it is on the screen. So I can just change this number to whatever I want it to be. Let's say 26. Okay. So that's the size that it would be at 26. Now I can also left click the mouse and I can go to the left and it makes it smaller, or I can go to the right and it makes it bigger. I can make it as big as I want, or I can make it disappear. Either way, we can make it whatever size we want. But what I do with mine is I usually have that spin right into the first frame. So I don't like where that's positioned, so I'm actually going to raise it up a little bit. And you can raise it up with this number right here. And it's at 1080 right now. And you can, again, you can click with the mouse and then change the number. But I'm going to just click and hold with the mouse, and I'm going to move the mouse so that number goes down. And then that's going to go up. And then we need to make this disappear out into nowhere and then show up. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit the little stopwatch here next to the word scale. We hit that, and then we're going to bring this number down to 0. And what this is doing, this is making key points. And so this key point here is saying that it's at 0. And then we're going to stretch this out to right about here. We don't want it to be at the end. In fact, we're probably going to bring it closer this way because we want to have the opportunity for that to fade out. So what we're going to actually do here now is we're going to change this number probably up to, I like 26. 26 was a good number. So there. Now we've got that keyframe. Now what's going to happen is when you play it, and in fact, I'm going to turn the music off, and you can turn off the music by hitting mute. So now it's not going to play. All you can hear is me and see the video. But you see how that just comes out of nowhere, and then boom, it's right there. It's beautiful, right? Now what we want to do, I like to have that spin. So we're going to use these key points here to match up how the rotation is going to go. And you can do that by coming down here to rotation, hit the stopwatch. This is the starting point at 0. And then we're going to bring it to match up with this key point here. Now, you can just do like 10x 0, and that's going to make it spin 10 times. You see how that goes? Now let's say you're not happy with that. Let's go back to our clip here. Let's say you're not happy with that. So you're going to have to actually delete this. So we're going to hit clear. And let's say you want to do it 9 times. Well, now instead of typing it in, I'm just going to drag it with the mouse. Again, you can do pretty much everything that you need to with the mouse here. Now we got 8, there's 9. So let's go back. And we're going to play it. Okay, so I like 9 better. Now, it just pops away. I don't want it to just pop away. I want it to fade out. And I don't want it to match up here. I want it to fade out before it goes into a new clip. So I'm going to shorten that up. And then I'm going to do apply default transitions. Now watch what happens. Okay, now that is good, but that transition is just way too early on there. So we want to shorten that up. I just hit the plus button to zoom back in. Now I get that little icon there, and I can move the transition to where I want it. And I want it probably right about there. Let's try it. All of this is just trial and error. We tried that. There, it stayed up on the screen long enough, so I'm happy with that. So now that I have that, I want to have presents under that. So we're going to go to the Essential Graphics tab in Premiere Pro, and we're going to browse it. And we're just going to find a simple title. There's all sorts of options here, but we just want a simple title. Okay? This is a basic title. Can't get simpler than that. And then we're going to zoom back out here by hitting the minus button on the timeline. And then we're going to grab this. Now we only want this to show up when it's already at the point where it is done spinning, right? So we're going to come here, find out where it stops spinning, and that's right about there. So we're going to move this to that marker. Then we're going to move that over. We're going to add the default transition to the end. We're going to zoom back in, hitting the plus button. And then we're going to match that up with the transition underneath it. And then we're going to add a transition here. There. So now, when it's there, oh, but now that title shows up there. What are we going to do? Well, we're going to click on there. Then we're going to go up to Effects Controls, and we're going to go to this point here, and we're going to actually move that down using that. So now we can actually put in whatever text that we want. So I come over here and double click that. I'm going to put presents. And then we can click off of that. Now let's watch and see how that plays out. Okay, I'm happy with that a little bit. I want it to stay just a little bit longer. So I'm just going to stretch these out. Again, this is just trial and error. There, I'm a lot happier with how that turned out. So now, the other thing that we're going to do is we're going to go back up to Essential Graphics. And this is another thing that I do. You don't have to do this. This is just an option for you, however you want to do it. This is another title sequence that I use. And this comes with its own transition. When it plays, see how that goes? Now I'm going to edit this to put my text in that I want. And I want to put just text in there. And then now when this plays, this is what's going to happen. But there's that little pesky little episode thing down at the bottom, right? Well, I don't like that. I don't need that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back here to the Essential Graphics tab, and where it says episode, I'm just going to right click, and then I'm going to hit clear. And I just got rid of that. Now I'm going to shorten this up because I don't want this to bleed over into the next clip. So I've shortened that up. So now when this plays, see how that goes? Now I'm just going to let that play through that river sequence there. And now in this clip, I'm going to actually add the title of this video. So I'm going to go back to browse, and I have a favorite title sequence. You'll have your own favorites. We can zoom back out of this because we don't have to be so close anymore. And then we're going to shorten this up so it stays here. And then I'm going to click that. Now I'm going to put the title that I want in here. Oh, nope. That looks like that's going to be too big, right? So what I will do is just leave it there. And then on the second line down here, I'm going to put demonstration. So now when it plays, you see how that went? Now up here on the timeline, see where it says yellow, where it's yellow? That means that this is not actually rendered. So as long as it's yellow, it's not rendered. And before we export it, we're actually going to render the video. So here's what we're going to do. Right now, I'm just going to put this towards the end. And now I'm going to hit O, which means out. That means that's the end of the video. Now, if you only wanted to render a certain part of it, you hit I and then hit O. But what we want to do is we want to just render this whole thing, because now we're ready to actually render it and then export it. So we're going to hit O. And then we're going to bring that marker down to the beginning. And then we're going to hit I. And then we're going to go to sequence. And then we're going to hit render into out. Now that's done rendering, and it's going to just start playing the video from the beginning, or from the place that you started rendering from. And I've got the music I've got the music muted, so you're not going to be able to hear it, but you can see the video as it's playing. Now I'm happy with that. That's going to be my intro to my next video. Well, not really, but this is just a demonstration. What I'm going to do now is going to unmute the music so you can actually hear the music and watch as it goes through the sequence.
Now my wheels in motion and my windows open with the wind blowing in my hair. I'm driving down the highway, gonna do this my way. I can feel it in the air. Here I go.
Okay, so now that that's done, all you have to do is go to export media, or you could hit Control M. Just make it a title name that you want it to be. So we're going to do demonstration 1. This is going to be whatever quality you want it to be exported in. We're going to do this in 4K. And then H.264, this is the format that I use because H.265 is too big for my computer. And then all you have to do is hit export, and this will export the video to your folder here with this video name here. So that's how I make an intro video using Premiere Pro. And if you are interested in finding out some information on how I do my videos or any other question concerning YouTube or studio setup or anything like that, you can send me a viewer video to jason@jjdrones360.com, and you may have your video featured in another one of my Ask Jason videos. This was a suggestion by Gary from Jailbait and Tackle Outdoors, so that's why he gets to be the first one up. And he does have a couple other video questions, so if I don't have anybody else that is interested, I'll be doing another video from him coming up next. Please do me a favor and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to let you know the next time one of my videos is uploaded to YouTube. I really enjoyed doing this. I really hope this helps you in making an intro video for yourself. Most people like to keep their intro videos right around 10 to 12 seconds. Mine go a little bit longer. It's really up to you on how long you want to make it. Go out there, get creative, and if you have any problems with any of the editing of the music or the clips, or you're just really not sure what you're doing, you can email me too, and I'll be able to walk you through the process. But it's really not that difficult when you sit down and actually see how it's done. I thank you so much for coming along for this ride with me, and we'll see you later on down the road. Bye-bye.
Now my wheels in motion and